Hello and welcome everyone. This is Type V3 and let's make this showy. This is SH Figuarts Gokai Red, leader of the pirate-themed Super Sentai, the Gokaijers. Now let's see if this captain is as marvelous as he makes himself out to be. This figure art is a fairly well done representation of Gokai Red. Even though the core design is fairly simple, there's still a good amount of detail spread across the toy. Wrinkles throughout the suit give the illusion that it's actually being worn. The belt is an entirely separate piece, and the helmet sculpting is as accurate as can be. I especially love how the emblem and the visor are different molded in layers as opposed to just being painted on. One thing I should note is that Super Sentai characters are basically wearing spandex, and because of that, the joints on these figure arts almost always look awkward. Gokai Red manages to get past this issue due to having shoulder sleeves, hip skirts, and black pants. Also, this version of Captain Marvelous seems to be anime inspired, and thus has much more exaggerated proportions than the suit actor. The result is a thinner and taller body, which I think looks better, but I can understand if this doesn't work for you. For the most part, the paintwork on this SH figure art is great. The colors are mostly correct and the application seems flawless. However, the on-screen suit is made of a shiny spandex, while this toy carries a very matte finish. I don't hate this look, but I think a slightly metallic sheen would have been nice. Also, the gold paint has a somewhat green tint to it that I find unappealing. Gokai Red is your standard figure arts body, so he's got all the articulation that you'd expect. Ball joints at the top and base of the neck for a super emotive head, I guess. Ball joint within a ball joint arm, so those are really nice. Bicep swivel, double jointed elbows, hinged ball jointed wrists, really nice torso and waist, and in combination you can totally do the pelvic thrust if you want him to. So yeah. Pull down hips, and there's a thigh swivel, and the nice thing about his pull down hips is because he has that skirt, this rubbery skirt here, it can cover up a bit of that gap that it forms, so I really like that. Double jointed knees, they kind of look funny because they're super long, but that's alright. And a nice ankle, rocker, toe joint, it's all there. Yeah, Gokai Red, basically, because of his simplistic design, he has no armor bits to hold back any range in his articulation, so I have no complaints there. Some interesting things, the decision to keep his collar just one solid piece of, I guess, hard plastic, I guess in the long run is better, but a part of me kind of wishes it were a bit more rubbery like his skirts here, just so you could see that logo. But speaking of logos, I don't know why Bandai decided to stamp theirs on Gokai's lower back. Copyright and everything, so... But I don't know what they were thinking about that. It just looks incredibly dumb if you ask me. Captain Marvelous comes packed with a mountain of accessories. For starters, he's got 11 different hands. Apart from his fists, he's got open palms with a pointing finger, a pair of hands to hold his mobiles and a ranger key, and a final pair of hands to wield his weapons. Taking a look closer, the mobiles is a nicely painted accessory. Even the backside got some attention. The actual ranger key itself is rather bland, but at its minuscule size, I really can't complain. The neat thing here is that there's also an activated version of the ranger key which you can slot into the phone. Sadly, no Gokai change will occur. The Gokai Saber and Gokai Gun are extremely well detailed, even more so than Gokai Red himself. Their barrels can also be replaced with one that simulates a ranger key combined with them. However, since the keys aren't painted at all, it's really hard to notice the effect, and the whole thing seems to be like a wasted gimmick. Captain Marvelous also comes with replacement arms to simulate his iconic entrance pose. While it certainly looks cool, pulling the arms off is a scary affair. I recommend going slow the first time around. Finally, the first run edition of this SH figure art came with a bonus accessory, the Gokai Darin, otherwise known as the helm of the Gokai Galleon. Like all the other accessories, paint and detail on this wheel are incredible. They even got the right type of gold paint without that ugly green tint. There's also a base that Captain Marvelous can stand on. As a whole, this makes for a great display piece. When it comes down to it, SH Figuarts Gokai Red is a fairly well done 5.5-inch action figure that's definitely worth the sub $30 he retails for. Aesthetically, I may have some specific issues with them, but the important aspects are great. The articulation is by far the best I've seen in the entire toy line, and the price is justified when you consider all his accessories, even more so if you were able to get in on the first run bonus. Objectively, this is a very easy figure to recommend since it offers so much value. On the other hand, you do have to kind of be into the tokusatsu scene to even consider this. Personally, the Gokaijers are my favorite Sentai team, and that's why I picked up this figure. But if you're more of a casual SH Figuarts collector, then maybe Gokai Red isn't for you. Anyways, this has been Type V3, and thanks for watching. Now I'd love to show you the rest of the SH Figuarts Gokaijers, but my wallet has forbidden me from purchasing them. Things would be so much easier if only I had the greatest treasure in the universe.